You winning, son?
Need some spicy Time Spiral Remastered reprints, maybe some cool old border cards? Well, you can pre-order Time Spiral Remastered now from our sponsor Card Kingdom by heading over to cardkingdom.com. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Abrew About Nothing. And this week, we are heading to Modern to try to reanimate some Obzedat, so let's talk about Ghost Dad's Vengeance. Jump into a league, see it in action. Alright, so here is our Ghost Dad Vengeance deck. Probably better known as Dad Tribal. But anyway, what we're trying to do is get an Obzedat Ghost Council into play as quickly as possible. Obzedat Ghost Council, actually really powerful. 5/5 for 5. Drains for 2 when it comes into play. And then on our end step, we can exile it, put it back into play on our next upkeep to drain again, and avoid sorcery speed removal. So the idea of our deck is not getting to 5 mana and casting Obzedat. That's a little bit too slow. Instead, we have a bunch of cards. Merchant of the Veil, Magmatic Channeler, Collective Brutality, Ransack the Lab. They can get Obzedat in the graveyard. And then we have some really undercosted reanimation spells with a big drawback. Goryo's Vengeance and Footsteps of the Goryo. These are 2 and 3 mana reanimation. The problem is the creature goes away at the end of turn. The trick, though, in our deck is that Obzedat gets around this drawback. When we go to our end step, we're going to have 2 triggers. One's going to be Obzedat saying, exile me, I'll come back on your next upkeep. The other is going to be Goryo's Vengeance saying, exile this creature forever. Or Footsteps of the Goryo saying, sacrifice this creature. If we stack our triggers right, we can exile Obzedat to Obzedat's ability, essentially fizzling the reanimation trigger, and then getting Obzedat back the next turn. So in theory, we can turn 1 Haggle, put an Obzedat in the graveyard, turn 2 Goryo's Vengeance, get it back, and we're not just getting it for a turn, we're getting it forever. And even in Modern, a turn 2 Obzedat with haste and draining every turn is often enough to win the game. Dad number 2 is a Griselbrandy. Obzedat, by the way, known as Ghost Dad. That's where the Dad Tribal joke comes in. So Griselbrand, a little weird in this deck because it can't usually attack. Like Footsteps, Goryo's Vengeance can put it into play. Maybe we get 1 attack if it's Goryo's Vengeance, but it's not going to stick around like Obzedat. But it still comes down, maybe hits our opponent for 7, gains us some life, and lets us draw a bunch of cards, which theoretically lets us fill our graveyards with Obzedat, find more reanimation to set things up for the next turn. Otherwise, we got a couple of graveyard value cards. Egon, it's big. We're going to have a lot of cards in our graveyard to exile. The backside can also generate some card advantage. Lingering Souls, we can mill it over, discard it, flash it back, make some spirits. Otherwise, bit of interaction. Discard, lightning bolts, mana base, pretty typical. Fetch lands, shock lands, fast lands, basic lands. In the sideboard, a bunch of removal, some graveyard hate, cleansing wildfire to deal with Tron lands, and Lingering Souls to clog up the board against mid-range creature decks. And that is Ghost Dad's Vengeance. Dad Tribal for Modern. That's our Much Abrew for this week. Let's jump into a league, see how good Obzedat is in 2021. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap-up. All right. Much Abrew About Nothing time. We are ghost dadding. We'll keep this. We are ghost dadding in Modern this week, playing some Obzedat Reanimator, essentially. Well, Blackleaf Cliffs and Thought Sees You. Opponents playing spirits. Well, I guess we take Supreme Phantom. So we're mostly hoping to ransack the lab into an Obzedat in the graveyard. Polluted Delta, crack Polluted Delta. Get a swamp. Ransack. Well, that's not exactly what we wanted. Take a Thoughtseize. Didn't hit a land either, which is awkward. Opponent. Spectral Sailor. Flooded Strand. Opponent cracks it. And plays a Shacklegeist. Hits us. Yeah. Well, Thoughtseize our opponent. Oh god, that hand. Well, we gotta hope our opponent doesn't draw land. Bloodstained Mire, crack Bloodstained Mire. Get a Mounted. Magmatic Channeler, but we're at 13 of our, oh my goodness. Yeah, well. Good game, Spirits, good game. Yeah. Skyclave Apparition. So what are our outs now? Are there outs now? I'm not sure there are. We really need our opponent not to hit a land there. Well, we can Merchant, haggle away a Lingering Souls. Flashback Lingering Souls. That is a drawback of our current plan, which is If we don't get good things to reanimate in our graveyard, our deck kind of doesn't do anything. Opponent passes. Now, Bloodstained Mire. We will play a Merchant. Opponent's going to Spell Quell. Yeah. Huh. So we just have a hand of nothingness. Opponent taps and taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll draw. Who knows? Maybe we draw. Actually, I don't think there's anything we can draw here. I think we're just literally dead. Opponent hits us to 3. More lands. Yeah. Well, sometimes you draw your reanimation and you draw none of your reanimation targets. That is pretty much exactly what happened that game. We're going to go on these Egons. Egon doesn't seem to do anything against spirits. We'll go down 1 Footsteps. We'll bring in more Removal. Go down Brutality. That doesn't do anything. And more Lingering Souls might be fine. At least they block. Yeah, let's go down 1 Thoughtseize and 1 Griselbrand for 2 Lingering Souls. Draw it like that. Well, we get to play first. All right, well, this will keep, I guess. I mean, footstepping a Griselbrand is not exciting because it's basically just a draw 7, although it's still not the worst. Well, haggle away a Griselbrand. Draw a card. The Lingering Souls are nice. Opponent Snow-Covered Plains and Ether Vial. Godless Shrine tapped past the turn. Opponent taking up the Vial. Flooded Strand. Opponent passes. Well, play the land, Footsteps, the Griselbrand, draw 7, and I guess that's it. Yeah, I don't think we can go lower than that. So we will discard. I mean, we drew into some good stuff. Opponent gets a Snow-Covered Island, runs out a Rattle Chains, which is obnoxious for the time being. Discard a land, discard a land, discard a Lingering Souls, discard a Lingering Souls. So the problem with Lingering Souls is if we're going to Plague Engineer Spirit, that does apply to... Oh, wait. This is one-sided? Oh my god. Well, we still wanted to discard the Lingering Souls. Opponent plays a Drog Skull Captain. Goes to combat attacks. Well, we will... Boy, if we get blown out here, I'm going to be a little sad. Lightning Bolt, Drog Skull Captain. Polluted Delta. Crack it. Swamp. I should have assumed. I mean, Plague Engineer was printed in 2020. So... Of course it only impacts your opponent. Of course. I don't know why I didn't realize that immediately. If it was printed in the first, 25 years of Magic, it would be symmetrical. But yeah, you can't drawbacks in 2020. That's not allowed. Wow. Opponent has 3 Drogskull Captains. Well, Inquisition, our opponent. Take a Glasspool Mimic, Lingering Souls, go to combat, attack. Opponent takes it. Untap land. Lingering Souls. I mean, I think we're still going to die here, which is very awkward. Pass the turn. Opponent. Vial. Because I get to play this Selfless Spirit, and then that gets to save the dorks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We don't have lethal. Opponent. No attacks. Well, let's haggle away a land. Yeah, our opponent having 3 Drogskull Captains in their opening hand is... really, really bad news for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 2 more lands to hardcast a Griselbrand. Opponent. Yeah, we had 2 Drogskull Captains beat, but not 3. Opponent goes to combat. Passes. Play a tap land. Haggle. Away a bolt that doesn't do anything. Magmatic Channeler. Pass the turn. So our hope is to stay alive and cast this Griselbrand. And then who knows? If we can get rid of a Drogskull Captain, then things change quite a bit. Mausoleum Wander. If we get rid of a Drogskull Captain, then we can bolt the other Drogskull Captain. And then all of a sudden, our spirits are cards again. Actually, I mean, if we can get rid of both Drogskull Captains, we essentially just win. Because our opponent's entire board's going to die. Alright, opponent passes. Oh boy, Bloodstained Mire. Crack Bloodstained Mire. Basic? Alright, basic Swamp. Well, just how we drew it up. Hardcast Griselbrand. Yeah, that is that's just what we had planned. That's it. Get to 8 lands and hardcast a Griselbrand. Opponent passing. Well, we untap. Magmatic Channeler. Discard a land. Obzedat would be not bad. Ooh. Alright. Plague Engineer. Cast it on Spirit. Go to combat. Attack with Griselbrand. Attack with Merchant. Opponent. Spectral Sailor. Blocks. 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 And blocks. Well, the good news is this gets rid of the Selfless Spirit, and we gain a bunch of life, and our opponent's out of cards. And this makes it very difficult for our opponent to attack, because if they lose a Drog Skull Captain, they lose the game. If Drog Skull Captain dies, you die in real life. Opponent draws a card, Flooded Strand. Well, let's haggle. This Bolt is not doing much. Wouldn't mind finding another Griselbrand, or an Obzedat. There's Obzedat. Ooh, Well, go to combat. Attack, attack. Now it's on us to close out this game. Our opponent's drawing extra cards. They have this Ether Vial, so we got to close out the game before our opponent gets out from under this. Opponent goes to 10. We will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obzedat. Puts you to 8. We go to 15. Merchant number 2. Goryo's Vengeance doesn't work here because of Remorseful Cleric, so we can't actually win that way. All right, Obzedat goes away for the time being. Well, we might be good now. Opponent's down to 7, and they're going to have to start blocking. Like, this Obzedat is pressuring our opponent, so they're going to have to start blocking, and once they start blocking, like I said, this is going to snowball in a really bad direction for our opponent. Shacklegeist. Okay. And I did not expect this deck to ever hardcast a Griselbrand, but that is actually why we might win this game. Opponent. Wow, if we beat the triple Drog Skull Captain draw, that would be really impressive. These Plague Engineers are doing work. Opponent. Passing. Well, Obzedat returns. Opponent goes to 5. Go to combat. Attack, 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 attack. Opponent vials in a 3-drop. Wow, alright. Drog Skull Captain part 40. Still not sure this gets our opponent out of this, though. Sure, you can block the merchants. Blocks Obzedat. If our opponent does go to sack Remorseful Cleric, we are going to Goryo's Vengeance Griselbrand and draw a new hand. Opponent blocks and blocks and blocks, trying to keep the Lords alive. I mean, I assume they gotta sack this. Why would you not? Opponent. Okay. Taps a Spirit. Taps a Spirit. Wow, they did not sack it. Interesting. Okay. Well, in that case, we will play Magmatic Channeler. Exile Obzedat. So our opponent has to literally kill us this turn. They have to literally kill us through a Griselbrand coming back to block if we need it to. I don't think that's possible, because as soon as Obzedat comes back, Ghostad gets the kill. Yeah, Vials take a 3. I mean, I guess they could have Life Gain? Life Gain would be somewhat helpful for our opponent. This was a weird game. I mean, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Our opponent doesn't have lethal, even considering... Oh, this is going to work. Opponent, big attack. And then tap the Spirit. And then we Goryo's Vengeance and our opponent scoops. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter either way. Well, that worked somehow. I'm not exactly sure how, but it did work. Oh, boy. We don't have any more removal. I mean, I guess this is kind of removal, but not efficient enough. Collective Brutality... Not efficient enough. Well, alright. Well, we got there that game. Ghostad is pretty good once it gets going. I still can't believe we won by hardcasting Griselbrand. I honestly did not think that was something this deck would ever do. Ooh, okay. This hand I kind of like. We have multiple removal spells, and we can potentially get Ghostad going on turn 2. Opponent, Snowguard Island, and Mausoleum Wanderer. Well, Bloodstained Mire. Do we have to kill this? Alright, pass the turn. Yeah, this Mausoleum Wanderer is a annoyance. Snow-covered plains for our opponent. Supreme Phantom. Opponent. Well, this is fine, I think. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. Well, we will Bloodstained Mire. Get a Mountain. Lightning Bolt. Mausoleum Wanderer. Untap. Black Cleave Cliffs. Fatal Push. The Lore. Haggle away an Obzedat. And pass the turn. Well, okay. We'll see. See if our opponent has counters. We are out of removal. Opponent tap land. Ooh. Polluted Delta. Yeah, I mean, Obzedat. Drain ya. Combat. Hit ya. Down to 12. Stack it properly. Ghostad exiles itself. Ooh, alright. We might actually be in good shape now. Opponent's got to find a way to stop Obzedat. And Obzedat's a clock. Obzedat is a real clock when it comes down early. That's what the deck wants to do. Opponent. Our board doesn't look like we're winning at the moment. But because Obzedat is coming back every turn, we are. So opponent needs a path, basically. They need a path to stop the Obzedat to remain alive for a bit longer. Opponent. Passing. Well, crack this. Get a Godless Shrine tapped. Untap. Obzedat. Returns. Go to combat. attack you. Wow, opponent takes it. Well, let's haggle a Lingering Souls. Magmatic Channeler. Alright, there's the Spell Queller. The problem for our opponent, though, is once Obzedat comes back, they're in bolt range. So unless our opponent can always leave up a counter or gain some life, this Lightning Bolt should kill our opponent eventually. Snow-covered plains, Mausoleum one. I mean, the other thing is, they're dead to just Obzedat by itself in turns. Like, just Obzedat coming back in and draining for 2. Like, opponent's got to find an answer to it this turn. Drogskull Captain. Oh, alright. Well, that makes it easy. Opponent passes. Ghostad coming back, drains you. Well, yeah, Lightning Bolt, yeah. Woo! That was a true testament to the power of Ghostad. Like, that was a game where we just got Obzedat into play early, and it won the game by itself. We didn't do anything else that game, did we? I mean, I guess we cast a Lightning Bolt and a couple of, like, random removal spells, but that was all Ghostad. That was all Ghostad doing what Obzedat can do. That was sweet. That was super sweet. Whew. Game 1, I thought we were going to get crushed by this deck, but yeah, Obzedat don't care. Showing who the better spirit is. Well, nice try, but you can't beat the Ghost Council spirits. All right. Much brew about nothing time. We are Ghostdadding. Oh, so much reanimation. All right, we're gonna trust in this Magmatic Channeler. We can turn 1 Inquisition for removal spell. Turn 2 Channeler. Trust that we're gonna find something to reanimate. Worst case, hopefully we can discard reanimation. I think that's the plan. We're gonna keep. Bad news is if our opponent has 2 removal spells and Channeler dies, then this hand is sketchy. See what our opponent's up to. Oh no. Oh, ether. Oh, goblins? Okay. Well, Blackleaf Cliffs and a Inquisition of you. Well, I guess we take Harbinger, since it's a combo piece. And then we can Lightning Bolt the War Chief or Chieftain. Mogwar Marshal. Sure. Well, that is Obzedat. Alright. Well, there's good news. The good news is, if this Magmatic Channeler lives, next turn could be really good. Next turn, we could discard Obzedat, draw land, Lightning Bolt the Lord, and get back Obzedat to start doing... Ooh. All right, so opponent's just going to keep the War Chief around and pass. Well, ooh, Lightning Bolt. All right, so discard Obzedat. Please find a land. Ooh, it's a painful land. Well, Sacred Foundry. Play it. Untapped. Goryo's Vengeance. Obzedat. Here comes the Ghostad. Drain ya. Might as well attack. I assume they get a free block with this War Marshal. Magmatic Channeler is really good when it sticks around. Magmatic Channeler sticking around is going to help us hopefully keep hitting removal spells. I mean, I guess best case is we eventually find a Griselbrand and get to reanimate that too. Yeah, opponent gets another 1/1. Well, always resolve Obzedat first. Obzedat exiles, fizzles Goryo's Vengeance. All right, well, let's see what our opponent can do. With 2 Lightning Bolts, we should be able to defend ourselves from the Lord and from the combo. And hopefully, growing this Magmatic Channeler to a 4/4 would also be somewhat relevant. Stay outside of removal range, so we can hopefully keep getting rid of cards that don't do anything, and maybe finding cards that do things. Matron, okay. Gotta be Snoop, right? Matron for Snoop, and just try to set up the combo. Okay, another War Marshal. So opponent's gonna go on the resilient plan. Opponent gets in for 2. Sure. Well, Obzedat returns. Wow, okay. We will Magmatic Channeler, discard a Griselbrand. Take a Swamp. Play the Swamp. Goryo's Vengeance number 2 on Griselbrand. Go to combat. Do a bit of attacking. Opponent blocks. Sure. Goes to 9. Well, draw some cards. Alright. I guess that's fine. We'll just stay at 18. Griselbrand goes away. Obzedat exiles. We discard Footsteps, Lingering Souls, land. All right. Well, our opponent needs to literally kill us this turn through a Lightning Bolt because we can just burn our opponent out here with Griselbrand cards. Opponent, Ringleader to draw some cards. Or gain life, I guess. I guess if our opponent can find a way to gain life, they have a shot. But I don't think this is enough. Like, they can put the Lord into play. All right, they're just going to Matron. Oh, well, this is definitely game then. All right. Well, apparently reanimating a Ghostad and then reanimating a Griselbrand is pretty powerful. Opponent, passing. Well, hitting us, sure. Down to 11. Well, Lightning Bolt your face. Lightning Bolt your face. Drawing 7 cards is pretty powerful. Who would have thought? And then we don't even need Ghost Dad. Lightning bolt your face. Woo! All right. That went well. That went very well. Against Goblins, Plague Engineer for Shizzle. Bring in the Fatal Pushes. Bring in the Abrew. What do we not want against Goblins? Don't need Land Destruction. Don't need Cling. Lingering Souls is meh. We can go down an Egon. I think we go down an Egon, go down 1 Footsteps, go down Collective Brutality, which is kind of middling, and maybe 1 Thoughtseize. Try like that. Well, that went well. That went very well. Oh, this deck's sweet. I forgot how sweet Obzedat is. Obzedat's actually like a pretty powerful card. Well, we will keep this. Lightning bolts can hopefully keep us alive. We got ways to fill the graveyard. Pluto Delta, go. No reanimation yet, but hopefully we get there. Plague Engineer is one of the best cards we can find. Ransack can also dig for that, as can Magmatic Channeler. Anti's Hovel. Prospector. Well, yeah, let's just crack this for a tap land. Blood Grip tapped. Untapped. I'll play a Swamp. I know we can't die this turn, so let's Ransack. Take Black Cleave Cliffs. Pass the turn. So we got a Griselbrand in the graveyard, which is decent. All right, Prospector Tribal. I mean, so remember, Snoop does need to not be summoning sick to combo. So our opponent needs to put it into play end step, or, I mean, sure. If our opponent gets rid of our Griselbrand, it's not the absolute end of the world. Goes attack and hits us. Down to 17 passes. Blackcleave Cliffs. Magmatic Channeler. Pass the turn. If our opponent has a Snoop, we are going to bolt to end step. There's a Snoop. Well, bolt to end step. Finding Plague Engineer is still the dream. Like, finding Plague Engineer is so insane here. That's what we're looking for with this Magmatic Channeler, primarily. Relic eats a Merchant opponent. Passing. Whew, come on, Plague Engineer. Come on, Plague Engineer. Play Bloodstained Mire. Magmatic Channeler. Discard Blood Crypt. Well, Footsteps on Griselbrand. I'm assuming this forces our opponent to sack, yeah. To sack, and we should not have played the land first, actually. That was a slight mistake. It actually ended up not mattering because we didn't hit a land anyway, but alright, yep. So we got through the Graveyard Hate Part 1. We still have a Lightning Bolt if our opponent has something that's going to kill us. Alright, Harbinger. Wow, Plague Engineer would be so insane. So insane. Definitely hoping this Channeler lives for another turn just so we can dig for Plague Engineer, because if we find it... Alright, opponent's going to take a Ringleader. If we find it, it pretty much, more or less, wins us the game. Very close to that. Alright, Vilezing and Ringleader. How good of a Ringleader might it be? Ringleader and Matron. Alright, well, middling. Although they do get to do it again next turn. Opponent attacks with everything. That is some damage. Oh, we really need this Plague Engineer. Down to 9. Oh, my God. Oh, come on, deck. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Show us this Plague Engineer. It would be so good. All right, get a Godless Shrine. We might have to hit it, actually, or we might die. Oh, all right. All right, we get 3 shots at it with this Channeler. If we don't find it, then we might just die this turn, especially with another Ringleader coming into play. I guess opponent's trying to decide if they want to sack stuff, but I don't really see the point in sacking like 4 goblins to play a Ringleader when you get to Violet for free next turn. I guess they kind of get to sack War Marshal for free, but still, it doesn't seem that great. Opponent passes. Plague Engineer? Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, praise the magic gods. Ooh, that's a solid 10 for 1. Goblin, we will name. See you later, board. Magmatic Channeler. Actually, maybe we just leave it up. Yeah, let's just play Godless Shrine. Tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent. Well, this turns off a lot of our opponent's things. They can still Ringleader again, but many goblins do not survive a Plague Engineer. Opponent, combat. No attacks. They're going to wait till end step. Well, Magmatic Channeler, discard Lingering Souls. Get an Arid Mesa. Play a Obzedat. Drain you. Arid Mesa. Pass the turn. Exile Obzedat. Alright. Well, let's see how Ringleader number 2 does. Opponent needs things that have more than 1 toughness. Okay. Mons is actually interesting for our opponent. That does technically survive a Plague Engineer. Opponent finds a land. Will they take up to 5? Do they have Kiki in hand? They must have Kiki in hand. Well, this is going to be close. If we can find a second Plague Engineer, then I think our opponent's essentially hard-locked. All right, plays a Mons. Vials it. A Kiki. I'll crack this. Get the mountain. Bolt the ringleader. We're going to trust that this channeler is going to find us some goodies. Get pinged. About it. Goes attacking. Well, we'll take the 1. Down to 7. Ghostad returns. Drains ya. Well, channeler. Discard Sacred Foundry. Take Lingering Souls. Play Lingering Souls. We're at 9. How do we lose? I'll go to combat. Attack with Ghostad. Opponent goes to 10. Bolt Kiki Cheeky. Get pinged. Lingering Souls. Well, we'll see. If they could just, like, put a ton of things into play that die, maybe they could, like, weirdly burn us out. They're going to have to do it fairly quickly, though. And they don't have that much mana. Hopefully they don't have the second Kiki in hand. That would potentially be a problem. I guess they can tutor up a Kiki. Matron dies. Are we pinging Plague Engineer? We are. So opponent pings the Plague Engineer, gets a Kiki. Okay. Kiki. Ringleader. But doesn't this leave our opponent dead? Is this our opponent just giving up? Opponent goes attacking. Well, we'll take the 1. Oh, it gets sacrificed. Okay. I think can we still win here? So, pings the Plague Engine. Ghostad returns. We go to 9. Merchant of the Veil. So if we attack with everything, our opponent double blocks, but they still have Kiki. Well, go to combat. Attack with everything. I think we got to get rid of this Mons, basically. Opponent blocks and blocks. We get pinged down to 7. Opponent goes to 4. Yeah, and yeah. They can't combo this turn, though. Now we get to play a Merchant of the Veil. Flashback Lingering Souls. The good news is our opponent's Vial's on 5, and they've already played 2 Kikis. So I think their Aether Vial's basically dead now. So they somehow have to kill us with 3 mana and a Kiki Jiki on the battlefield. Well, 4 mana and a Kiki on the battlefield. And they can't combo off. So somehow they have to kill us this turn. Snoop, land on top. Game? Oh, we got the GGs? Oh, Ghostad! Ghostad coming through! Alright, the Power Plague Engineer. And also Ghostad, but sweet, sweet, sweet. Alright, much brew about nothing time. We are Ghostadding in Modern. Some Obzedat. Obzedat, reanimator, I guess? Ghostad's Vengeance. Yeah, let's just Bloodstain Mire go. Get our white mana. I mean, right now we're on the Lingering Souls plan for the time. Are we a post-combat player, or do we literally not have a land? Alright, just likes playing stuff post-combat. Sure. Bloodstain Mire, crack it. Get a... I guess Sacred Foundry. Double red seems relevant with a double bolt footsteps. Well, we just need to find something to put in the graveyard. Blackleaf Cliffs, go. Not really any sense in haggling away nothing. Probably gotta hold on to this merchant until we find either Obzedat or a Grizzle Daddy about it. I guess this is kind of dad tribal. We have Ghostad and Grizzle Daddy. Phone it, Bloodstain Mire cracks it. What are we doing over there? Death Shadow, maybe? Yeah, they'd probably be more aggressive about shocking themselves. Oh, it's Mill. Well, thank you, opponent. Please hit a... Oh, it's a Storm Herald deck! Oh, no! Oh, no. Oh, no. What have we done? What have we done? Why did we play that deck? Oh. Well, alright. Looks like we're going to get punished by... by the Much Brew deck we played a couple weeks ago. We do not have a way to interact. Okay. Opponent, don't kill us, please. We will cast a Lingering Souls. So what's in the graveyard at the moment? How dead are we? Eldrazi Conscription. So I guess we're not literally dead yet. They have Eldrazi Conscription, which isn't lethal. So they need one more aura. And then a way to get back Storm Herald. The bad news is our graveyard is targeted. So if our opponent can get a bunch of auras in the graveyard, it's not going to be able to fizzle it. Are they going oh no, again. Well, okay. No auras. Prodigious Growth. Are we dead? Oh, we're dead. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what this deck does. That is what this deck does about it. So I guess actually, yeah. I mean, I guess this was probably a punt. I guess that what we should have done is leave up Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt would have actually been protection here, considering... Oh, we're just... Okay. Yeah, double punt. Punts all around. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't think we're going to come back from that. Okay. So yeah. I think that was a misplay on our part. Because our opponent didn't have another creature on the battlefield, we probably should have just left up the Lightning Bolts and hope that they could protect us. I think that probably would have been the better line. So removal spells are not protection from Storm Herald if your opponent has multiple creatures, because Storm Herald can put it on any creature they want. But if your opponent does not have another creature, I think honestly the problem was I wasn't expecting another glimpse there. I was thinking we probably had one more turn before the Storm Herald might be coming. So I think that was the actual issue. Still probably a punt, and we should have thought it through more. But I was thinking we had one more turn, and we could play the Lingering Souls, because even if they Stormed Herald, like whatever, we sack the 2 Lingering Souls tokens, we take 11. But I underestimated the possibility of double glimpse into Unearth, which is kind of just like the dream draw. So maybe a punt. Probably a punt, but also I was not expecting to die that turn. I thought we had one more turn, and then we could leave up the bolts with a clock. Because the other thing is, like, just leaving up... Well, that has no lands. The other thing is, just leaving up lightning bolts without any pressure doesn't actually do anything either. Because then we're just giving our opponent more and more time to assemble their combo if they don't have it. See if our opponent transformed into mill. We don't have very good graveyard hate to shut down their combo, honestly. Like, if our opponent knew what was in our deck... Alright, it looks like they did. If our opponent knew what was in our deck, I'm pretty sure they would just stick with the combo. But thankfully, they do not. Score 1 for us. Bolt the Crab. Opponent. Passing. Well, Arid Mesa. Crack it. Get a Plains. Magmatic Channel. Go. Well, now we want to find Ghost Dad. I think the Storm Herald deck's actually pretty good. All right, more crabs. This one only mills us, which is kind of fine because they might mill a Ghost Dad or not. Opponent. Well, that works. Discard Ghost Dad. Get a Footsteps. Play the land. Crack the land. Hopefully our opponent did not take our advice and bring in Surgicals. Then we're going to be in real trouble. Yeah, we'll just take a Godless Shrine. Untapped. Footsteps. Obzedat. Okay, that works. Drain ya. Gain some life. Pass the turn. Obzedat resolves first. Opponent. Land mills us. Well, there's a Lingering Souls. Thank you. Glimpses us. Well, there's Griselbrand. Also good. Opponent. Well, Obzedat returns. Let's get back Dad 2. Go to combat. Attack you. Opponent blocks. Goes to 2. We are not going to draw any cards. That seems like a bad idea against the mill deck. So no cards drawn. We are just going to exile Obzedat and trust that it coming back into play kills our opponent. Well, I would fully expect, now that our opponent has seen our deck, that they will be back on the Storm Herald plan next turn. I think 100%. Because that milling us is actually pretty beneficial. And we are not very good at stopping our opponent's combo. For want of a Leyline of the Void. Well, Ghost Dad, come back in. Dad Tribal! Showing Storm Herald what's up. Yeah, let's try it again. Man, maybe we gotta... Alright, let's see. I'm assuming our opponent's back on the combo plan. Well, we gotta Cling to Dust. That is good. That can kind of help, depending on how quickly our opponent can combo. Well, there's Dad 1. Bloodstained Mire, go. Opponent. Might need a land. Not cracking the land. Alright. Well, I don't know what they're doing. Opponent passing. Cracking. So kind of we have to hope our opponent goes for a Storm Herald too early, essentially. Opponent might be trying to figure out if they're milling us, or they might be on the halfway plan and trying to decide who they should be milling. That is possible. Alright. Collective Brutality. Drains us and takes, I don't know, Cling to Dust probably? Yeah, it takes Cling to Dust. Oh, they took our advice. They took our advice. Okay, now we have 0 graveyard hate. Oh, I was hoping they didn't listen to us. Okay, that makes things a lot harder. Blood Crypt, untapped. Magmatic Channeler, go. Thankfully, there's no big auras in the graveyard yet. Blood Crypt, tapped. Opponent, passing. Well, Channeler, discard Griselbrand. Get a Plains. Play the Plains. Lingering Souls. Pass the turn. I mean, I guess if we make enough spirits, we can sacrifice them to Annihilator. Cycles Unearth. Opponent untaps. So opponent needs to find some mill. Like, they don't have ways to get things in their graveyard yet is their problem. We need to find reanimation. Merchant. Well, Magmatic Channeler. Discard Griselbrand. take Magmatic Channel, play Magmatic Channeler, Swamp and Lingering Souls. I'm going to combat, hit you for 2. I mean, I guess the other possibility is we could just try to grow these channelers and win that way. That's not impossible. About it. Cycles Unearth. The bad news is, against this deck with no graveyard hate, it does feel like we could die at any time. Like, opponent finds a way to mill themselves and hits the right cards, and then we lose. Opponent thin in the deck. Finding removal would be helpful. Oh dear. Glimpses us. Okay. Oh my god, they didn't get all the cling to dust. That's interesting. I'll go to combat. Attack you. What are we, 1 point of damage? 1 point away from lethal? Opponent goes to 1. Blood Crypt tapped. Definitely. I can't believe they didn't exile this cling to dust. Hedron Crab. Okay. Land. Mills us. Wow, so they still are on the mill us plan. I figured our opponent would give up on that. We want to be able to exile... Oh, opponent scoops it up. We want to have Cling to Dust not only to exile our opponent's graveyard, but to exile our own graveyard in case our opponent has... oh, man. I can't think of the name of it now. The graveyard hate spell that gains life. The 3-mana one that exiles all creature and gains ridiculous amounts of life. 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, we could exile, like, all the creatures from our graveyard. Well, I will say... I think that after our opponent saw what our deck was doing, because I really like this Storm Herald deck, I think after our opponent saw what we were doing in game 2 and saw how milling us was helpful, even though they did have the Surgicals, which are a big addition, I think they should have stayed on the Storm Herald plan. I think they should have taken the Ruin Crabs back out, targeted themselves with the Glimpse the Unthinkables, and maybe they did. We saw the Battle Mastery, so maybe they did, but I'm not sure why they were targeting us with this stuff, so I'm not 100% sure, but, well, we'll take it. Sweet, sweet. All right, much ado about nothing time. We're ghost adding. I mean, we got it a land, but we have Hagel ghost add, Gorgo's Vengeance ghost add. Hope that that's enough. It often is. Well, yeah. That seems fine. Blackleaf Cliffs, go. We even have a backup reanimation spell. Swift Spear. Well, alright. Actually, I guess technically we should wait till end step. We're definitely haggling this turn and taking 1. And then if we whiff on lands and can't go stat, then we'll bolt, I guess. But hopefully with 2 draws, we just find a land. Alright. Haggle. Discard. Obzedat. Yes, please. Alright, there's a land. Well, Bloodstained Mire. Crag it. Grab a... do we need white mana for Lingering Souls? Probably. Do we want to shock ourselves for it? Probably not. Ugh. You know what? Maybe we should. Yeah. Let's play it safer. Let's get a mound. Yeah, we'll get a swamp. Gorgo's Vengeance. Obzedat. Drain you. Up to 20. Hit you. Down to 11. Boy. Turn to Obzedat is pretty sweet. Pass the turn. Obzedat going to exile itself for a minute. All right. Well... What do you say, opponent? What do you say? Wow, watch them 20 us. That would be sad. Swift Spear. Opponent. Combat. Attacks. Hits us. Down to 60. Stormwing Entity. I mean, if our opponent doesn't block, they're dead, right? Alright. Obzedat returns. Drains you. We go to combat. We attack. So I think our opponent has to block. Wow. Alright, no blocks. Well, in that case, bolt you. Alright. Turn 3 Obzedat kill. I was not expecting that. That went a lot better than I was thinking it would. Well, 2 Fatal Pushes in. I guess maybe the Abrew. We'll go down Egon. We'll go down 1 Footsteps and 1 Thoughtseize. Run it like that. Well, that was about as fast as Ghost Dad can kill someone. Ooh, it's a lot of reanimation and not much else. I mean, we do have a haggle. Man, maybe we keep this. You know what? We're going to keep this. We can haggle away a bad card. We can Thoughtseize to get rid of a Stormwing entity. This actually isn't... I mean, it's a little sketch, but it's not that bad. And if we find Ghost Dad or Griselbrand, it suddenly becomes very good about it. Soul Scar Mage. Well, we find a land, which isn't bad. Blackleaf Cliffs. Thoughtseize you. Take a... I'll take light up the stage. So I guess we're basically trusting that we find removal or an Obzedat. Either would be acceptable. Opponent, Sprite Dragon, goes to combat, attacks, hits us. Are we gut-shotting? Oh yeah. Yeah, got us. Opponent passes. Well, play a land, crack the land, get a swamp, channeler, go. Oh, we need Ghost Dad, and we need Ghost Dad very quickly. Also, our opponent not drawing anything good would be helpful. Swift Spear. Oh, please no Bolt. If they drew Swift Spear and Bolt, then we're really in trouble. I mean, we might be in trouble anyway. This is a pretty good start for our opponent on the play. Oh, boy. All right. Well, at least death will come quickly. Ouch. That is exactly what we need. I don't think there's an out to this now. Well, okay. I guess a pseudo... We need to hit a land. If we hit a land, we hilariously sort of have an out. Well, we will discard Griselbrand. Land? No. All right, dead. Okay. Well, that was a really good start for our opponent. Yeah, run it back. Run it back. That lightning bolt was brutal. If our opponent had not drawn into that bolt, well, all right, we'll keep this. 2 Griselbrands, a little bit awkward, but we can haggle away 1 at least. Yeah, let's start the killing of ourselves. Shockland Thoughtseize. Down to 16. We're doing our opponent's job for them. Take a Sprite Dragon. I mean, the good news is we can just kill all of our opponent's threats. Spire Bluff, opponent, Soulscar Mage, and passes. Well, Arid Mesa, crack it. Mountain, haggle, a Griselbrand. Ooh, into another one. Okay. Well, now we are Griselbrand flooded. Kill the Soulscar Mage. This is awkward. A little bit too Grizzle Daddy heavy at the moment. Opponent passing. Ooh. All right. Well, Goryo's Vengeance is a good draw. We know our opponent has a Spell Pierce, though. So we need our opponent to tap out for something during their turn. But it looks like that's not in the cards at the moment. Or we need to hit another land to get around the Spell Pierce. Oh, my. Oh, worst Tron ever, Griselbrand Tron. Is this how our win streak comes to the end? By drawing every Grizzle? Literally. Sometimes I say every and it's an exaggeration. In this case, every means every. We have drawn every single one. Opponent, Monastery Swift Spear. Goes to combat. Are we getting in there? No. Opponent passes. Well, Magmatic Channeler joins the party. Pass the turn. Oh, I hope Magmatic Channeler lives. You know what I would love to do? Discard some Griselbrands. That would make me incredibly happy to not have 3 Griselbrands in hand. With 3 lands, we have actually, amazingly, drawn more Griselbrands than lands this game. Opponent is flooding out a little bit. Swift Spear Part 2 goes combat. Are we attacking this turn? No. All right, we untap. Magmatic Channeler. Yes, please discard a Griselbrand. Take a Fatal Push. Fatal Push the Swift Spear. Boy, we're having a hard time hitting lands, aren't we? Oh, should we just be Thought Seizing? Maybe we should. Our opponent's not going to tap down. Yeah, let's Thought Seize. Maybe our opponent just gets their Spell Pierce value. All right, that's fine. So they get their Spell Pierce value, but that means we get the Spell Pierce out of our opponent's hand, and we don't actually have to take damage, and we grow our Channeler outside of bolt range. Opponent. Sprite Dragon. 2 cards in hand. Goes to combat. Attacks. All right, just 1 attack. Yeah, Sprite Dragon hits us. Down to 14. Well, Magmatic Channeler. Discard Griselbrand. Get a Godless Shrine. Inquisition our opponent. Opponent Vapor Snags Channeler. Sure. Last card. Stormwing. Well, Goryo's Vengeance. Griselbrand. And opponent scoops it up. Whoo! Wow, are we gonna... We're 4-0. We're 4-0. The kids are definitely eating. We might be going 5-0 with Ghost Dad. Dad Tribal. Huh. Well, one more. See if we get the 5-0. Sweet. All right, much brew about nothing time. We are trying to Ghost Dad our way to a 5-0 here. Nothing good to haggle. Reanimation. What are we discarding? Footsteps? I mean, I guess this is fine. Like, this isn't bad. Yeah, haggle, away Footsteps. This hand has the upside of potentially just winning us the game if we can find an Obzedat. Oh boy. Okay, Tron. That's frightening. Play a land. Play Magmatic Channeler. Well, we do have some things in our sideboard that are good against Tron. All right, no turn 3 Tron is nice. Come on, Ghost Dad. We need you, friend. Well, Channeler. Discard Merchant. Take Polluted Delta. Play Polluted Delta. Thoughtseize our opponent. Oh, golly. Take a Karn. Polluted Delta, crack it. Godless Shrine. We gotta take Karn because Karn can get graveyard hate for sure. Inquisition. Take a Sylvan. Well, Do we try to keep our opponent off Tron, or do we take the Oblivion Stone to prevent the Wrath? All these cards seem like they beat us. Oh no. Oh no. Our dad luck might be running out. Well, I guess we take the O Stone and just hope that they don't find Tron. So they can get green mana to turn on Sylvan Scry to get a Tron piece. Yep. I mean, I think our dream is Griselbrand, actually. Griselbrand to reload land. Well, Magmatic Channeler. Discard the Plains. That's the wrong place for a Griselbrand to be. Take a Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize our opponent. Oh, they have full Tron. What kills us most? Probably Wormcoil. Take Wormcoil. Pass the turn. Oh, that's unfortunate. We would have liked to drawn and discarded the Griselbrand. Uh-oh. I think our opponent thought they had Tron for a second. Got a little overexcited. Well, Obzedat, alright. Discard Obzedat. Take, I guess, Merchant. Haggle. Discard Merchant. Goryo's Vengeance. Obzedat. Drain you. Hit you. The bad news is, I think this Walking Ballista with Tron is going to be big enough to kill Obzedat. If it wants to. If we can keep our opponent off of removal, Obzedat just blinking itself is pretty good. Opponent Ballista. Well, finding a removal spell would be sweet. Discard Blackcleave Cliffs. Fatal Push. Lightning Bolt. Well, take the Bolt. Obzedat returns. Drains you. We draw. Our Fatal Push is in the sideboard, aren't they? Go to combat. Attack. Opponent's going to ping down Obzedat. Yeah. Well, go attacking. Opponent trades. Well, bolt your face. Land crack it. Get a swamp. Well, we'll see. The problem is our opponent does have Tron now. So if our opponent can find a finisher, we are in trouble. Sylvan Scrying. Opponent. Peatland. Cracks it to redraw. Karn. Wow, this is close. This is super close. Tutors. Still has 4 mana. Ensnaring Bridge. Yeah. Opponent passes. Well, let's see. We draw. Footsteps. Magmatic Channeler. Discard it. Get nothing. Blackcleave Cliffs. Play the land. Play the Merchant. Hit our opponent. We're going to actually hit the card. Hit the card down to 1. Pass the turn. Oh, yeah, that bridge is bad. That's going to buy our opponent a lot of time. Opponent. Big card. Okay. Wow, turns on Ensnaring Bridge. That's a interesting choice. Well, we draw. Nothing. We haggle. We bolt the bridge. Go to combat. Kill Karn. Hit our opponent. Down to 6. Oh my goodness. Did we misplay? Should we have just reanimated the Obzedat? It's possible we should have. Oh no. Ancient Stirrings finds Ulamog. Yeah. And now that kills us. I don't think Obzedat was going to be good enough, especially with the bridge out. Yeah, that was really close. Obzedat just draining every turn is something? Yeah, I don't know. Well, bring in Cleansing Wildfires. Wear Tears. Go down Collective Brutalities. Go down Lingering Souls. Go down a Footsteps. Try it like that. Alright. We get to play first. Well, we'll keep it. We have some disruption. We do not have a way to get back Griselbrand, though. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. That might have been a misplay to not get back Obzedat. Well, in our perfect world, we find reanimation for this Griselbrand. That would be ideal. Also possible that our opponent keeps a hand that is weak to Thoughtseize. Well, Bloodstained Mire, crack it. Blood Crypt, untapped. Thoughtseize you. Take Expedition Map. All right. Well, opponent does not have Tron or anything close to it at the moment. Well, haggle. Discard Griselbrand. Polluted Delta, go. Oh, we just gotta... So we want to find... Cleansing Wildfire is good. And anything that keeps... or anything that just kills our opponent is also good. Well, crack this. Godless Shrine tapped. Untap. Draw. Ooh. Yeah, let's play Channeler. Blackleaf Cliffs, go. The scary part is if our opponent finds one more Tron land... Oh, they're going to Dismember? Alright, Dismembers... Channeler. Opponent passes. Ooh, alright. Well, 1, 2, 3. Footsteps. Griselbrand. Not that good, but we still get to draw 7, which will hopefully set us up for next turn. Oh, opponent scoops. Okay. Wow. Apparently the draw 7 was enough to scare our opponent away. Boy, it all comes down to this. Can we get the 5-0? Can we get the 5-0 by taking down Tron, our arch nemesis? This is it. It all comes down to this game. Opponent's on the play. Show us Cleansing Wildfire, Tron. Well, we have a Cleansing Wildfire. Turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 Cleansing Wildfire, and hopefully find something to haggle. Power plant. Chromatic Star. Opponent passing. There's Goryo's Vengeance. Well, we're a ghost dad away from this hand being exactly what we want. Inquisition. Take Sylvan Scribe. Pass the turn. Opponent needs another land just to turn on the map. And we can Cleansing Wildfire. Alright, second power plant. Map. Opponent. Another sphere. Well, we know our opponent's hand. We draw. Thoughtseize. Well, Thoughtseize you. Take the Worm Coil Engine. Tap land. Pass. Oh, well, this is going to be super close. Oh, the 5-0 would be sweet. Opponent cracks. Gotta be getting a Tron land. Gets a tower. So we can just blow up the tower, which is nice. Opponent passes. We draw. Merchant. Well, blow up the tower. There's Griselbrand. Alright. Pass the turd. Opponent untaps. No graveyard hate. Sacks. So we're going to haggle end step. Haggle. Discard Griselbrand. Untap. Goryo's Vengeance. Griselbrand. And opponent scoops it up. That is a 5-0. That is a 5-0. That is 5-0 with Dad Tribal. That means a lot of chess to crack. Okay. Well, Obzedat's back, and it's looking pretty good. Whew. The kids are not just eating; they are feasting with the 5-0. All right, let's crack 11 treasure chests, and then we can talk about it during the wrap up. Well, apparently that deck was pretty sweet. Ghost Dad Vengeance coming through. All right, so 11 treasure chests, 2 open to celebrate the Dad Tribal 5-0. If not very helpful. Hooded Blightfang. Sweet card for standard. A good budget card for Death Touch Tribal or Findex, but also not valuable. Mean and Dead. Good commander card. Sky Swallower. Never been. This is one of the worst cards. Enters the battlefield, target opponent gains control of all your other permanents. Lands and all. Ooh, 125 play points is sweet. That is more than enough to play a league or a draft. Breeding Pool. Drowned in Sorrow promo. Unfortunately, I feel like this has been outclassed by some similar cards, like Cry of the Cranarium. Boy, we're getting a lot of, like, Amonkhet stuff, aren't we? Stuff that was recently in Standard. Give us a Force of Negation, or a full set. Assembled Alphas. Alright. Wow, these have been some, other than the play points, these have been some bad treasure chests for Saroan games. One of the most disappointing of the sagas. Never been able to make this work. The token always dies, and then the rest of it does nothing. Hypersonic Dragon. Another cool commander. Wow, this has been some of the least valuable chests I've ever opened. Portent. That might actually be worth something. Magic Online promo Portent. Just kidding. 4 cents. Well, one more shot. Something big. Complete set. Force of Negation. Something at least. Celestial Mantle. I remember there was a time when I thought this card was sweet. But I was wrong. I guess it could be sweet for life gain. Like life gain Boggle Hybrid Commander. Well, we got some play points, which is nice. The deck crushed it, which is great. Yeah, go dads. Be back with the wrap up. So what do we learn this week about Ghost Dad's Vengeance in Modern? And we crushed it. We went 5-0. Like, you literally can't do any better than that. There might have been a couple putts along the way, but we overcame them. 5 wins in a row. 11 pretty horrible treasure chests, but at least we got a lot of play points out of the deal. So the deck was sweet. It felt really good. And I even made a little bit of mistake with the deck. So when I imported the deck, funny story, the deck should have 2 lightning axes over 2 of the lightning bolts. When I imported the deck, I wasn't paying close enough attention. I thought I had 2 mismatched lightning bolts, which were actually lightning axes, so I took out the 2 lightning axes along with 2 other bolts and put in a matching playset of lightning bolts. So in theory, there should probably be 2 lightning axes there, although the bolts were actually good. We got the triple bolt win after drawing with Griselbrand in one matchup, so maybe all the bolts was actually fine, but really, the deck felt powerful. It felt good. We get good interaction. We have a good plan to finish the game. We got a lot of weird card drawing, filtering. So all around, Ghost Dad Vengeance, it felt like a pretty legitimate and super fun option. So I don't know. If you want to dad it up in Modern, give it a shot. It seems more than good enough to 5-0 with, because, I mean, if I did it while recording content, you could probably do it too. So that's Ghost Dad's Vengeance for Modern. That's our bunch of brew for this week. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.